The Salinas Valley has always been a huge resource for farmers, although it wasn't really discovered until the 1860s. People were coming to California as gold seekers, but when they became disappointed, as so many of the miners did, they started fanning out to find good places where they could be farmers. And that's where they found the real gold. They found the real gold in Monterey County. And that's one of the reasons that people have come. I mean, things are changing, they always evolve, but it's still, whatever people set their hands to, it could have been wheat, it could have been dairy, it could have been sugar beets, it could be lettuce, it could be flowers. Everybody seemed to make the natural resources here into something good.
Farming is America's biggest industry. While most major American industries have made great advances in productivity, agriculture has outpaced them all. One of the reasons has been intense mechanization. However, some crops must still be harvested by hand, where such things as inspection, selection, cutting, or gentle handling are basic to quality. The constant flow of new and remarkable experimental equipment is on trial, all designed to relieve man's age-old burden of manual labor.
Labor is still a key part of the ag industry because the crops that we grow here are so labor intensive. So, and we're not going to mechanize overnight. We're not going to have robots in the field picking strawberries overnight. And until such time as we can address the labor shortage or immigration reform to where we have access to the number of workers that we need at the times that we need them, we have to do everything that we can to maintain a healthy, stable, legal workforce.
If you went back in time to Merritt Street and the farmers were delivering their grain, you would see wagons with nose to tail, mules hauling this grain all the way through Castroville to Moss Landing. Just lines and lines and lines.
Farm Bureau essentially covers everything from A to Z, artichokes to zucchini and everything in between, including all the cattle that we have. And so we are a one opportunity organization for all of the farming in Monterey County. We had about 13 offices around the county at one point in time, and not only were those areas where they could get technical advice, but they were also social centers. Farm Bureau did a lot of socialization of farmers and had a gathering point for people to come together and have picnics and parties and social events. So it was really a way to build the community also and to allow neighbors to meet each other, become interactive with each other, and find common ground and where they could cooperate with each other too.
In about the 20s, early 20s, there was an experiment up in the Pajaro Valley. And the experiment was a handful of acres of lettuce grown by Mose Hutchins. He grew this lettuce, he took it by wagon to Pajaro Station, and shipped it out. Because the GIs who were coming back from Europe had developed a taste for lettuce. Farmers in the Salinas Valley picked up the lettuce, and all of a sudden, row crops, with the help of the Spreckels irrigation, became the crop. It was so lucrative that the Salinas Valley Index says green gold found in the Salinas Valley.
Los Braceros are a necessary supplement to our domestic crews. In Spanish, braceros means a man who works with arms and hands. But in American lingo, they are called lifesavers.
Spreckels had maybe 3,000 braceros working in the Spreckels field they were brought in for the war effort. They had work contracts, and they could stay for a period of time, and then they'd go back home. But this program was really pretty successful, and it lasted into the 1950s. The working conditions, of course, the labor camps were bad. The working conditions not so great, and it was finally there was a horrible train accident where a truck of braceros were stuck on the tracks near Metz, and a train ran into them. That was sort of the beginning of the end of the bracero program.
The future is impossible to predict, and it's even more impossible when it comes to agriculture. But I think that one thing this industry has always been is resilient and resourceful, regardless of the types of challenges or the issues or the problems that we've encountered for almost 100 years. We've always managed to stick around, to stay in business and to thrive. And I think that that's a credit to the people engaged here in agriculture in Monterey County. They've always been progressive, forward thinkers, innovators, and that continues to this day. And I think that that will sustain Central Coast agriculture in the future. So I'm hopefully and cautiously optimistic.
Today, farming is an easier, more profitable occupation. Improved crop varieties and scientific methods have skyrocketed farm production. Machines have taken over most of the muscle work, making farm life easier and more profitable. So take a tip from thousands of other progressive farmers who have renewed their weary, worn-out pastures. It's easy to turn grass into gold.